Thank you very much for a very informative session, Bwana Daktari. I think you're doing very good work to people of Embakasi South and Kenya is at large. I have many questions since the beginning of the show. It's only that we don't have time to ask, maybe because the way the program is. I want to get him to know the difference between a brain dead and clinical death. I don't know if I ask you all the questions together, then you give me. Yes, it's the same.
It's the same thing.
Okay. Another question is cancer. In terms of cancer, chemotherapy or radiotherapy. Some people say those things, they even hasten and they can cause more damage than what at the time the cancer would have maybe taken to take you down. So sometimes they say the chemicals, the radiotherapy, they even worse or even
mostly is the radio.
Yeah.
Mostly because unajua the chemotherapy involves the drugs.
Yes.
The radiotherapy involves the radiations. When you expose radiations to a patient that is already having cancer, cancer in itself is immunosuppressant. It makes the body weak. The radiotherapy will not only target the cancer cells, but it will also even target
the healthy
cells. And that's unapata to those who are undergoing the radiotherapy, they always deteriorate very fast.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the cancer itself has made you immunosuppressed,
yes.
When the radio is also introduced, it makes even more weaker. That's what utapata somebody is diagnosed with even stage 1 or stage 2. They were all healthy, but the very moment they are now introduced into the treatments, they start deteriorating. Yeah. So it does not spare.
Okay. But is it very necessary? It has to be done.
It is.
Is the case of you are doomed if you do or if you don't.
Yeah, because once this cancer is diagnosed, the management should be intensive because they easily spread.
Yes.
Yeah. So it has to be intensive so that to limit that time for its spread.
Okay.
Because remember, when somebody is diagnosed to be having any type of cancer, then the moment you buy time with it can easily spread to the vital organs.
Okay.
And once it goes to the vital organs, now managing it now becomes even
problematic.
Yeah.
Okay. No, thank you very much for that. Also, let me ask you a question about treatment. People talk about herbal treatment, and there's the one for medicine, which is done in the labs, the one we commonly know from the pharmacies or hospitals, from India, from US, and other places where the big pharma have patented and selling to people, versus the kienyeji herbal, especially known well in Africa. Yeah. Yes. What is your take on that?
They're all helpful. The only difference is one is purified, one is not. Remember, all the drugs that we take are from the plants.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's one that has already been purified.
Yes.
Then there is one that has not been purified, though they help. But remember that when once you are used to this herbal sana, because it is not purified, it has a high tendency of either damaging the liver or even the kidney.
Okay.
Yeah, because it is not purified. It is in its original form. Okay. So even when it goes, the detoxification of the drugs happens in the liver.
Yes.
And some of them get excreted through the kidneys.
Yes.
So assuming you may take as a bulk with all its impurities, it can easily damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watu wa kitambo ilikuwa good with them because their immunity was strong. The types of food they were using. But now with this current generation, with the types of foods we eat, when you get these medications that are herbal-like, they can easily bring problems to us. Yeah. But all the medications are plant extracted.
Sourced, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I remember there's a doctor, a friend of mine, he's called Billy. He's saying that he's been educating Maasais and other people to sort of take the traditional medicine because they have most of them now are having a lot of kidney problems.
Yes.
And the liver. He's saying he's telling them, some of them are started accepting before they thought just because he's learning from university, he want to bring them Muzungu medicine. He doesn't want to give them the herbal.
What they should be told, they are the same medicine that they have. I think they need to be educated or be taught on how it can be purified and made in a way that is less harmful to the body.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have good medicine. The only
Yes.
thing is that it has a lot of impurities.
Okay.
Alafu for now it is being stored.
Yes.
The hygiene.
And
But
the dosage.
and the dosage.
Yes.
How will you know that you're taking 500 mg? So umekunywa vikombe tatu.
Yes.
So you can either overdose or underdose. You don't follow
Yes.
even the frequency.
Yes.
When it's supposed to be taken, you know, there's something called the plasma half-life. The plasma half-life is that duration that the drug takes in the body before it disintegrates. Iishe kabisa from your system.
Yes.
Assuming that that drug amebeba kwa kibuyu should take like 12 hours or 24 hours in the system, na amekuambia ukunywe mara tatu. That is an overdose.
Yes, sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So they are good, but the frequency, the dosages, not known.
Okay.
Alafu they got a lot of impurities, and again now the hygiene, now venye zimebebwa kwa hizo ma containers.
Yeah. Ilikuwa imewekwa mkorogo ya jana, inawekwa ya leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you another question. The Catholic Church in Kenya is very synonymous in terms of warning about vaccinations coming from one other organization, from the Bill Gates Foundation, or Clean Health initiatives, all these foreign funded or sponsored vaccinations. Sometimes they say they are, is it inoculation, making some women, maybe some age groups, not to get children.
Yeah.
What is your take as a doctor and being in the field and the research which is there?
I think in the country we have good doctors and we have researchers. There's not just any drug that can be brought and we start consuming it. And that's why we have the KEBS, you know, to check on the quality. And the researchers will also get to know, to at least do 1 to 3 things to confirm if it's good or not. But again, as I said earlier, the world is wicked. Yeah. And killing people is very easy.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why when any drug is brought into the country, the government takes the initiative of having our own to at least have a look at it before we consume it. But remember, these vaccinations are very important. Yeah, because when the child is not vaccinated, it means that the body is left just like that. There is no any defense mechanism that if at all there is any infection that comes, it will find the body. Yeah, they'll be easily exposed. So these drugs are good, but if at all there can be any problem, I think the government should take the initiative of having our own to look at it.
If the government doesn't like money or is not being used also as a conduit for that, huh? Okay. So let me ask you a question. In US, you find the people tell you have 4 days. I think you mentioned in the show earlier. They tell you have 3 months to live.
Yeah.
Instead of giving goodbye to your people, you have 5 days. You know.
Yeah.
You have 10 hours. How do they come to that conclusion? What is there an empirical way of measuring the time somebody is left before they
check on
die?
their system.
Yes.
The vitals. That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
They check on the LFTs, the UECs. The LFTs are the liver function test. What's the derangement in the liver? How does the liver work? What is the kidney? How does the kidney work? How about your brain, the heart, you know? When there is an extent at which the heart, ikifika, you know, this one can fail at any time. And so they don't always tell you the exact day, but they'll approximate that in the next 2 or 3 months, you'll not be normal.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is approximation depending with your vital organs. Venye ziko, how the disease
It's
has
taking
spread.
a toll on you.
Yes. Yeah, true.
So that's the most maybe empirical or scientific way possible to determine that.
Yeah. And that's why, okay, the same way somebody will tell you have acute kidney injury or chronic kidney injury. Yeah. So before somebody tells you that ukona chronic kidney injury, they'll do something called the GFR, glomerular filtration rate. They'll check how it is. So when they see the derangements on the UECs, urea electrolytes and the creatinines in the liver, they'll tell you this liver is the kidney. They'll tell you that this kidney is failing. Yeah. And that's what utapata mtu anaambiwa this kidney is failing, you have to be initiated on the dialysis. And of which if you don't go for the dialysis, you die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you mentioned something earlier in the program, and you talked about why would you do post-mortem to somebody who died of HIV or accident. I think and the host there maybe gave some views on that. I also think somebody a friend of yours,
Yeah.
or even a spouse or somebody who know that this person, I'm tired of keeping this person,
Mm.
so let me give him poison, because people know already this guy has HIV.
Mm.
Let me give him poison to go. Then we just blame on the HIV, or maybe an accident,
Yeah.
maybe like I know you have known the international story, like
Mm.
maybe Princess Diana. There are a lot of theories. They
Yeah.
say yes, it's an accident,
Mm.
but maybe something was done before this happened.
Yeah.
It's apart from the mechanical checking, the way they check airplanes, accident crashes.
Mm.
They also check maybe this person was given some drug which made him disillusioned,
Yeah.
so that he can cause an accident and die on the road.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I think it's still very possible, and the word of wickedness and how things are, I think it's good to be done mostly on nearly every person, but Muslims are doing it, they don't do a lot of it.
Okay.
And I think they leave a lot of room for guesswork.
For the cases of somebody who has had this chronic condition, let's say something like HIV and AIDS,
Yes.
HIV does not just get up and kill you in one day.
Yeah.
If you are somebody who takes his medications, who may adhere to the medications, you'll still be strong to be alive.
Yeah.
So unless there is that stage imefika na umepata huyu jamaa amekufa after, but if somebody has just been has adhered to the medications, then it dies all of a sudden, then it calls for. Now that's why we were saying under some circumstances that are raising suspicion, then you have to do the postmortem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. To my final question, there are two. Can somebody who is dead have been put in ICU, been maintained? Maybe they were pregnant and then the 7th month pregnancy.
Yeah.
Now they are maintained in ICU to enable this child to stay alive until the time when they are ready to come out. I have seen something online trending. I think a lady who supposedly died in like 5 months, and they're just keeping her on ICU because she has no child. They just want to have the child. They just wanted to have the child come out so that they can maybe put as a memory for the lost daughter, because they only have one daughter. That is one. And number two, the final one is in terms of cancer and many diseases in the world. I come from the world of technology, and I believe technology is advancing so much. There's quantum physics, obvious, and technology. There's AI and robots, and we are trying to bring all the knowledge and ideas and the researches and everything which has been gotten from many years ago to now. Combination of all the knowledge, like you have good knowledge combined to like all the doctors. So do you think AI and the advancements of technology can be used to like checking on cancer instead of doing this therapy, chemotherapy? Technology can go to deep just to select the particular cells which are infected instead of exposing the healthy cells to problems. Yeah, you can answer those two questions, and thank you very much for Mortician hosting us.
For the case of Dine, for the case of the child, the lady in the ICU 7th month, and then they want to maintain this pregnancy because they have to ensure that the child is alive. Remember the thing that we need to consider, that it is not all about breathing that has to be maintained, and even the blood supply. Remember, there is also food.
Yes.
Yeah, because the child survives on the food that the mother eats. So whether the mother's digestion is the digestion of the mother, okay, because the mother has to digest that food, or ndio ifike. But remember, somebody is in the ICU, maybe is just there, so maybe ana ako kwa hizo ma NG tubes ya kumfeed, that one can help. Yeah, it can help so long as the blood supply is there. The breathing is being done with the machine, and the child should be checked. But remember, at 7 months, they ought to have delivered the baby. The baby can still survive. Yes, the baby can still survive at 7 months. The baby survives even at 6 months. Akitolewa na mewekwa kwa incubator. Yes. So I think to some extent, instead of endangering the life of the baby, they just get the baby out. Okay. And then they take care of the baby from the incubators. Yeah. Then in the case of the AI and everything that is happening, I think it's going to be helpful sana in making early diagnosis. Early diagnosis is going to be very easy in making early diagnosis. But now when it comes to the treatments, there are some other technologies, some other techniques that will be employed. But in making the early diagnosis, I will do it, I think.